So let's take a look at those lineups and see who Jay Applegate and Derek Thomas have assembled as their winning teams today, presented by the full-service law firm that is committed to fully winning for you, the client, Heidemann and Associates. For the Syracuse Titans, they'll be the road team today in the green uniforms. They'll lead off with Audi Burton at shortstop. Brock Hopkins, the second baseman, he'll bat second. Carson Miles will bat third. He'll play third. Easton Hamblin and Tag Hamblin go back-to-back in the heart of the order. Tag Hamblin had the only hit of the game yesterday for the Syracuse Titans. Dawson Raymond, the center fielder, will bat sixth. Jake Hopkins, yesterday's starter on the mound, will be in left field today. He'll hit seventh. Catcher Tatum Martin will bat eighth, and rounding out the order, designated hitter Bronx Manning will be ninth. For the Riverton Silverwolves on the other side, no changes to the lineup. Carson Moody, Caden Allred, Zach Edwards, 1, 2, 3 to lead off the bottom of the first, followed by Drake Pearsall, Alex Vernon, and Dylan Zulo, 4, 5, 6. Cohen Allred, Dallin Ellison, Easton Hicks will be the rounding out of the order for the Riverton Silverwolves. Audi Burton is stepping in, and we are ready to go from Larry H. Miller Field. This elimination matchup between the Syracuse Titans and the Riverton Silverwolves, one I don't think anyone could have ever anticipated. First pitch by Hansen is in there for a strike as it's cut on and missed.
I think it's the right decision to put Cooper Hansen in the pitching position, Alex. What do you think?
Well, he's your number one. Jay Applegate has said he's been our number one for so many years. As this is lined into right, down toward the line. That's a fair ball. That's going to drop. Here comes Burton coasting in a second, and he's in there with a leadoff stand-up double. Well, we saw
at the plate for 21, Brock Hopkins.
Well, we saw the Lehigh Pioneers figure out Zach Edwards early and often in their game last night, and on the second pitch of the game,
that wind definitely gave that ball a kiss, Alex, going down the line. I think it was trailing foul. Came back last minute, and it got pushed right into fair territory.
Hopkins trying to bunt his way on and ends up missing it for strike one. Cooper Hansen, 6'4", Salt Lake Community College commit. Here comes his 0-1 pitch after a couple of glances back at second. And it's a bunt drop down in the middle of the field. And Hopkins is going to reach safely as Hansen couldn't get to it. And just like that, there are already two runners on with nobody out and two base hits for the Syracuse Titans.
And I mean, if you're Syracuse, you got to feel really, really comfortable having a guy on first and third and no outs, especially against the Riverton Silverwolves. Considering they had trouble on the base path yesterday against American Fork, let's see if they can breach that barrier and maybe score a run here in the top of the first.
First pitch on the way from Hansen is swung on and missed to the third baseman, Carson Miles. You have to be thinking, though, if you're a Riverton fan, here we go again. 0-1 pitch. That one is right at the knees for strike two. Oh-2 count against Carson Miles, and the pitch is fouled over to the right field side and into the stands.
Please return all foul balls to your stadium.
And someone's going to have to go over and get that and bring it back to the dugout. No balls and two strikes in the pitch, and home plate umpire called time, and Hansen didn't see it, so we'll have to try it again. Oh-2 pitch. Cut him. And that's a big-time strikeout for Cooper Hansen. One gone here in the top half of the first. Update on the weather conditions here at Larry H. Miller Field. It is 55 degrees, wind 5 miles per hour, but it's coming behind us towards the outfield. You can see the center field flag flopping around a bit out to that area as this pitch is outside and low, ball one.
You want to wonder if Derek Thomas wants to send Brock Hopkins over here at first to go to second to avoid that double play and ending the inning. I mean, one out here.
They don't send him here. Fly ball into center. Dropping fast. That's a base hit. That'll bring at least one run home. Throw is up the line. Thrower comes into second. They did not get the runner. It's an RBI single. And the Syracuse Titans strike first.
Now playing 24, tag Hamlin.
And for the first time this tournament, Syracuse gets a run on the board.
And they've already tripled their output of hits. They have 3 hits in the first 4 batters in this inning. They had 1 the entire day yesterday, and this guy, Tag Hamlin, had their only hit yesterday. That one is in the dirt. Picked up off the carpet. Good block by Allred. One run on 3 hits already home, and the Syracuse Titans threatening to add more. It is already 1-0 in favor of the Titans. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball foul up past Derek Thomas over at third base. And he didn't see it. Waved his hand out for it. Thought it was coming to him, but it ended up passing him. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
It's a good off-speed deal, especially to Tag Hamlin, a guy, great batting average on the year, even coming into this tournament.
1-2 pitch, left up high and upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. To Tag Hamlin, who again had the only base knock of the game yesterday for the Syracuse Titans. That single through the right side in the second inning. 2-2 pitch. High fly ball in the air to right. Coming over is Hicks. Called off by the second baseman, Cohen Allred. The runner will tag and go to third. And he is in there. Now they're going to try to get the runner at second, diving in. But Zach Edwards was a little bit late to the party. And so advance the runners up to second and third now with 2 out here in the inning.
And I mean, if you're Tag Hamlin, theoretically, you've pretty much done your job. You advance the runners, both of them. Good base awareness, too, by Easton Hamlin over there at second base.
Easton Hicks is actually playing in left field, not in right field. Dylan Zulo is in right field. I should correct myself. Good catch over there by Cohen Allred coming out of his second base spot right there. So no run. So runners at second and third with 2 out. And the first pitch to Dawson Raymond is in at the knees for a strike. 1 run on 3 base hits, no errors in the inning so far for the Syracuse Titans. They lead 1-0. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Offered at the high cheddar, but couldn't get the grater on it. Payoff on the way. And a good waste pitch there, high and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You want to wonder what the position Cooper Hansen is right now. 2 outs. You've already allowed 3 hits. You can limit the damage here with the strikeout, too.
Thou hast said, Mr. Wilkinson. As Cooper Hansen strikes out the side. But 1 run does score on 3 base hits in the inning for the Syracuse Titans. They lead 1-0 with the Riverton Silverwolves coming to bat here on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, good shot there from our cameraman Josh Dodge of the famous Y Mountain as we bring you back into this presentation of the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA Baseball Playoffs presented by Heidemann and Associates. Just like how the coaches have to assemble a winning team to get them something done on the diamond, Heidemann and Associates does the same by assembling a winning team for you, the client, in all situations. Call them today at 801-754-4240 or online at utah.law for your free consultation with them, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson here from the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth at Larry H. Miller Field here in Provo, Utah, south of the Marriott Center here on the campus of Brigham Young University on a gorgeous 55-degree day here in Provo, Utah. The Syracuse Titans lead the Riverton Silverwolves 1-0 in this winner-go-home elimination game. And Ty, you have to feel that Cooper Hansen, 3 strikeouts in that inning, struck out the side. The Riverton Silverwolves have to be very fortunate right now. They're not down by more after what happened in the first inning.
Agreed, and to say the least, too, Riverton, they had runners knocking on third and second base from a defensive perspective. And even as a pitcher, that can be a pretty stressful situation. And obviously Cooper Hansen handled it pretty well and got that strikeout on Dawson Raymond in order to end the inning.
Struck out the side. Actually, he did, yeah, I was actually stand corrected. He did not strike out the side. He had 2 strikeouts in the inning. As Caden Jeblis' first pitch is fouled up the line, right side, strike 1.
And even if you're Cooper Hansen, allowing a double and a single, or I guess a bunt, I mean, you can call it a single, but a double and a bunt already, struck out Carson Miles. Then Easton Hamlin obviously knocking in with a single, but then he got a fly-out and a strikeout. So I guess that limits the damage. I know it says 3 hits, but I think he's feeling at least a little bit more comfortable because now he has to rely on his offense.
1-1 pitch coming to Carson Moody, the center fielder, leadoff. That one is dropped inside and low. 2 balls and a strike.
Carson with a little bit of a difficult game yesterday. I guess I could say the same for the entire Riverton team faced against Lehigh pitching.
This one is ripped down the line, and it hits the line foul. So no argument, and no argument down from there from Carson Moody either. He knew it.
That could have been dangerous too. That could have been easily a triple if it gets caught in that corner tailoring foul.
2-2 coming now to Carson Moody.
The U of U commit.
And he takes ball 3 high, 3 balls and 2 strikes, so the count goes full on him.
What do you think the approach is now for him?
3-2 pitch. That one is line, and that one this time is a fair ball into right field. And Carson Moody leads off with a single. And the Riverton Silverwolves have their first base knock of the ball game. As Caden Allred, the catcher, now comes up to face Jaden Keblis.
I bet you got to feel pretty good, too, about getting on first base if you're Carson Moody.
Big confidence builder after what happened last night.
We'll see if he goes, too.
Allred takes high and inside ball 1. Let's talk about Keblis for a second here. We talked about how Cooper Hansen's the number 1 on the mound. You'd have to say Syracuse probably throwing their number 1 or number 2 guy out here today, as Keblis leaves that one up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first, nobody out. That off-speed pitch is right in there at the waist for a strike. 2 balls and 1. Runner on first is Carson Moody. 1-0 in favor of Syracuse. The pitch. Allred shows bunt, pulls it back, and now the count goes to 3 balls and a strike.
Okay, so now if you're Allred, once again you have a strike to take. He's got a hitter's count, 3-1. Maybe get a little bit more comfortable, especially since you have a base runner with the shift on.
3-1 pitch is outside and low, ball 4. So the first 2 runners of the game reach base.
At plate number 11, Zach Edwards.
And here comes yesterday's starter, Zach Edwards. The Oregon State commit, 6'4", 240. Played on the basketball team, also played on the football team.
He had a solid day hitting yesterday, too. You wish you could say the same about pitching.
I mean, he was just rocked from pitch 1 to inning number 3 when he lasted just 2 1/3 innings. First pitch on the way is an off-speed pitch right in there for a strike. Riverton threatening. The pitch. High pop-up. Good luck trying to catch this one. Who's got it? Pitcher's got it, I think. First baseman doesn't call him off. Keblis and Easton Hamlin run into each other, but Easton Hamlin gets it anyway. And a big first out there for the starter, Jaden Keblis.
It's a big first out on a big number 3 hitter, Zach Edwards. Once again, we said he was 2 of 3 batting against Lehigh yesterday. A couple of singles.
Here's Drake Pearsall, the third baseman now. Alex Vernon, the first baseman, standing on deck. Runner in scoring position at second and a runner on first. And Pearsall cuts and misses of that changeup for strike one. A 1 pitch. High fly ball down the line and left. Coming towards the foul line and sliding in is Hopkins. You'll not be able to get there. It bounces into the fence. And that's strike 2.
That's a good read by Hopkins out there, too, in left field to kind of be aware of the little fenced-in area over there by the bullpen and not crashing into it. We once again mentioned that none of these teams coming into these games are used to playing on turf and that grass-to-dirt transition that you're used to in foul territory.
Keblis has a look back at second. The 0-2. High fly ball again, and again this is going to be foul. And this time it lands in the trees over there.
There's some big hacks from Drake Pearsall. The only issue is he's pretty far behind in the count, too. He's been dealt nothing but strikes to deal with. We'll see if he can actually put it in play with his 2 pop-outs into foul left.
Big hole on the right side on the shift. And that one is jammed foul back to the screen, so we'll do it again. 6th pitch, rather, of the AB coming up here for Drake Pearsall.
He's definitely working Keblis. I know the count is 0-2, but it feels like there's a lot more.
He struck him out. Got him to chase away, and there's 2 gone just like that here in the bottom half of the first. And we're going to have a pinch runner now substituted out for Cohen Allred as McCade Ortiz will come in and take his place, and Alex Vernon will now hit. Runner remains at second base. Runner remains at first. 2 out, bottom of the first. 1-0 in favor of Syracuse. Outfield shading Vernon a little bit over to the left. Big hole on the right side of the shift in the infield. That pitch is outside and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Jaden Keblis comes set. Look back at second in the pitch. To the right side. That gets through. Applegate's going to send Moody home. He trips. Doesn't matter, though. The stumble doesn't stop him. An RBI single for Alex Vernon. And this game is tied.
Now hitting number 6, Dylan Zulo.
Beautiful hit. I think he waited for his pitch, too. You could tell it went opposite field right into the gap. I mean, that's what hitters in this league are pretty much best at, especially for Riverton, is getting that opposite field knock, especially when the shift is on. And as you can tell, Syracuse, they're continuing to main their shift here for the righty.
Dylan Zulo now steps up to the plate, the right fielder. And this pitch is outside and away. Vernon was trying to run. Trying to get in a run. Now they're in a rundown. Tag Hamlin throws back in. And they do not get the runner at third as Jay Applegate, and no argument either from the third baseman, Carson Miles. Jay Applegate was down there. He pretty much saw it.
Alex Vernon, I guess you can technically say he gets away with the stolen base here. as he's caught in a rundown, but they threw.
Yeah, now Derek Thomas is coming out here to the first baseline. Now we're all confused. So as it stands now, runners at second and third, 2 out. And Derek Thomas just trying to get the explanation down here from our third base umpire. So back to our regularly scheduled programming as the meeting departs, and now we're back ready to go. So runners remain at second and third. 2 out. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Did Zulo go? He did not. 2-0. Two balls and no strikes the count on Dylan Zulo. Here's the 2-0, and this is down low and away. 3 balls and no strikes.
Dylan Zulo, once again, it's been great all year. He bats .333. Coming into this game, 18 RBIs, and he has 2 doubles, which is a rather good sign when you got...
This one misses inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to Dylan Zulo, and now the bases are full of Riverton Silverwolves here.
At the plate, number 19, Cohen Allred.
As Cohen Allred now steps up to the plate, and Dallin Ellison, the DH, standing on deck. First pitch on the way is high. 1 ball, no strikes.
Keblis really needs to get out of this inning, too, and not let any more damage at least exceed the way that it's been. Because theoretically, Alex, you'd like to be tied in this scenario with bases loaded. You're going to have the runners be stranded. But you can also hopefully rely on your Syracuse offense, who already has 3 hits tonight.
2-1 now the count on Cohen Allred. Dallin Ellison is the one that stands on deck here for the Riverton Silverwolves. He'll be followed by Easton Hicks, the left fielder. And now it's ball 3. 3 balls and a strike now as here comes shortstop Audi Burton trying to give a pep talk to his pitcher. Jaden Keblis, who's hit a little bit of a speed bump here after a smooth start. Bases loaded, 2 out, 3 balls and 1 strike to Cohen Allred. That's a strike, and the count goes full.
Now this is a big moment for either side, either if you're Jaden Keblis or Cohen Allred.
The full count payoff on the way. Got him! Swinging strike 3! And Jaden Keblis does get out of a monster jam in the first inning. But the run does score for Riverton. They get 1 on 2 base hits and no errors, but they left the bases loaded. We go now to the top half of the second inning. Tied at 1 in this winner-go-home game. We'd like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA Baseball Tournament continues tomorrow. Mountain Ridge awaits the loser of Fremont against Corner Canyon, while the winner of this game will await the loser of Lehigh and American Fork. It all starts tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock a.m. from Larry H. Miller Field on your home for the Spring Sports Championships, KSL Sports Rewind. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson here from the Betty Inside Kimball broadcast booth here at Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young. Jake Hopkins into the batter's box to lead off the top half of the second inning for the Syracuse Titans against Cooper Hansen, and he pops up the first pitch into center field. 3 Silverwolves coming on. Center fielder Moody says he's got it on the long run, and 1 pitch equals 1 out.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 punch out. Limits the stress here for Cooper Hansen, especially since he started the first inning with a double followed by a single.
That'll bring up Tatum Martin, the catcher, the number 8 man in the order.
Infielders playing deep too, Alex.
Very deep almost on the outfield grass, as that one is well below the knees there. 1 ball, no strikes. As Allred had to snatch that one up. The umpires today, Jason Estridge behind the plate calling balls and strikes, covering the first base side and the right field line is Ryan Hansen. Covering the left field line all the way out to second base is Gene Van Osden. And that pitch goes through the catcher Cohen Allred, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes on the catcher Tatum Martin. .30 pitch. That's down and away, ball 4. And a 4-pitch walk issued by Cooper Hansen. Puts a runner on first with 1 out. And that'll bring up the 9th man in the order, Bronx Manning.
Well, that's okay, because now you can rely on your defense. You got second baseman over there, Cohen Allred, who's once again had a stellar year just fielding for this Riverton Silverwolves team.
Hansen check throw back to first. Close play at the bag, but back in safely is the runner, Tatum Martin. 1 out here, 1 runner on here in the top half of the second inning, tied at 1. The pitch from Hansen. That's right there at the knees for a strike. One strike the count, 1 out. Top half of the second inning, tied at 1. In case you hear any buzzing in the background, that's not us. That's a fire alarm going off over on the other side of campus. That pitch is outside and away. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count on Bronx Manning. One pitch. That one misses the low corner and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Syracuse really trying to work the count here, Alex. Yep, it is 2 balls, not 3 balls, as the scoreboard says.
Yep.
Good for Bronx Manning to stay ahead in the count, though, thus far in the at-bat.
That one hits the knees right there, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. The 2-2 pitch. And the count goes full, 3-2. Runner on first. 1 out, full count, 3-2. This one is poked down the line and right, foul. This will be the 7th pitch of the AB coming up here for Bronx Manning.
I mean, even if you're Bronx, batting 9th in the lineup, you got to give him his respect for hanging with the star power of Cooper Hansen in this at-bat.
Got him looking, strike 3. Caught him looking right below the knees, and there's 2 gone. That's the 4th strikeout for Cooper Hansen already in 1 2/3 innings. Or the 3rd, rather. 3rd strikeout in 1 2/3 innings for Cooper Hansen, and that was a big one. Audi Burton now. Stands in, top of the order. First pitch is hit in the air. And that one, I think, went over the tarp. And it didn't hit the roof. So that's not a cue for any hour random roof ringer. 0-1 pitch. Runner goes for second. Throw down to second. Allred's throw is there. But the runner is safe. And the pitch was also inside and low as well. 1 ball and 1 strike now the count with the runner advancing to second base. So runner in scoring position now with 2 out in the top half of the second inning. 1-1 is our score. 1-1 pitch. High fly ball in the air to right. Zulo coming on. He'll make the catch, and that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors in the top half of the second inning. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. The game remains tied 1-1. You're watching the KSL Sports Rewind coverage of the UHSAA Baseball Playoffs. Bottom half of the second inning about to begin here from Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Tim Lippman, Ty Wilkinson joining you here from the Betty and Cy Kimball press box here at BYU. So Ty, so far, as expected, for the first inning and a half, it has been a battle of the pitchers here so far between Jaden Keblis and Cooper Hansen, as it has been expected so far.
As it has definitely been expected, Alex. I mean, once again, we mentioned the elimination game today. It's either win big or go home. And if you're Syracuse, I would consider, the situation a win, because right now, as you know, Riverton, very dangerous on offense. I know we didn't see it much yesterday, but we mentioned those batting averages and the depth in this lineup. And, I mean, thus far, Jaden Keblis, I know he's got quite a few more innings to go, but he handled that bases-loaded situation with ease. And, I mean, both teams so far have stranded 3 runners each. I know Syracuse has already played 1 extra run, but still, you gotta give the respect to the pitching duel as it is right now.
Dallin Ellison stands in to lead off the bottom of the second inning for Riverton, and he takes a strike about waist high from Jaden Keblis. 0-1 pitch. Misses the bottom corner and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. That one comes in a little high and inside over the head that time of Dallin Ellison. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one pitch. That one hits the corner for a strike. Good placement on that fastball.
It's a good comeback pitch, too. He got a fastball high and away up toward his head. He got a better grip and got it in the zone.
2-2. That one does not make the corner that time. Misses the corner by about a fraction and a half, so it's 3-2, and the count goes full on Dallin Ellison.
Dallin Ellison and Cooper Hansen have both had a couple of full count deals to batters so far in these coming innings.
This one is lofted in the air, and this one is over us to the right side. Count remains full. 6th pitch of the AB coming up here for Dallin Ellison. Full count offering on the way. Ball 4. And so just as Cooper Hansen issued a walk in the second inning, a leadoff walk issued to Dallin Ellison, and now here comes the Utah Tech football commit and the soon-to-be missionary in Argentina. Here's Easton Hicks, the left fielder.
And can you believe that he's the 9 batter for this Riverton lineup?
I mean, the way this whole batting lineup is, there's power up and down the lineup, like we said yesterday. As Hicks tries to drop one down, and he ends up bunting it foul up the line. 1 strike. We saw a bunt foul out earlier by Davis. It really took away their opportunity. It was an untimely error that stymied their momentum to try and get an extra rally started in that game against Mountain Ridge. Hicks still showing bunt, pulls it back this time. Ellison's off the bag, throw to first. And he just gets back in ahead of the tag by Hamblin. No pun intended.
Ellison playing with a little risky business over there. He's trying to at least get Syracuse's catcher, Tatum Martin, to try to, maybe get in his head a little bit. Not only is he a big guy over there, but he's fast.
That's a fair ball. Good bunt by Hicks. Throw to second. He's off the bag. But the throw is offline and errant, so the sacrifice does its job. 1-3. And the runner, Ellison, now advances into scoring position with Carson Moody coming to the plate. He who had a single to lead off the afternoon for the Silverwolves.
Well, 2 back-to-back pickoffs I can't necessarily say pickoffs, but attempts to try to get Ellison out at either base. You wonder if he's going to try to play a little bit more contentious. But he seems pretty comfortable in the position he's in over there at second base, Alex.
1 ball and no strikes the count to Carson Moody, who's 1 for 1 today with a single. Came around to score. On the RBI single by Alex Vernon. Takes a strike here on the outer half of the plate. Runner in scoring position is Dallin Ellison with 1 out and a 1-1 count here against Carson Moody, the center fielder. 1-1 pitch. Hit high in the air, right field, pretty deep, but having enough room out there to make the catch is the right fielder, Tag Hamblin. The throw will get by at third base, and that's going to allow Dallin Ellison to score. And the Riverton Silverwolves have taken the lead 2-1 on the RBI sac fly and the error.
At plate number 21, Caden Allred.
As Caden Allred now steps up to the plate. First pitch on the way is high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Dallin Ellison started off leading off Riverton with a walk, and he managed to make his way all the way around the base path there, Alex.
1 ball, 1 strike now the count on Cohen Allred. Score that as an SF9, E9. That allowed the runner Dallin Ellison to score. 2 balls and a strike now the count. One run, 1 hit. Or excuse me, 1 run, no hits, and an error so far on the ledger for the Riverton Silverwolves in this inning, as that one froze Cohen Allred. Good off-speed pitch, make it 2-2 with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. High fly ball in the air to right. Coming over is the second baseman. Makes the catch, and that ends the inning. The side is retired, but the Riverton Silverwolves have the lead for the first time in this tournament. They lead now 2-1 as we head to the top half of the 3rd inning. You're watching the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 6A baseball tournament. A good look at a empty University Parkway for now on this beautiful day here in Provo, Utah. It is 55 degrees, sun as far as the eye can see. A far cry from what we had yesterday for the weather in our first game of the day. Alexander Tumop alongside our broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson from the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at Larry H. Miller Field at BYU. And Ty, well, we were talking about how these teams would come out in these elimination games today. How about the Syracuse how about the Riverton Silverwolves going small ball to open up this game this afternoon?
It's a very interesting tactic because, well, we saw them against American Fork trying to come out with firepower at least a little bit. And you were kind of expecting a little bit of the same tactic or architectural plan. But obviously that proves to be different here today. But the small ball, I mean, it's kind of working for them. I mean, very content approaches, very interesting way of formatting their defense. But, you know, keeping the score 1-2, and you're batting here in the 3rd. That comes to the fate now if you're facing against Cooper Hansen.
Salt Lake Community College commit delivers his first pitch of the inning, and it misses the corner low and away, ball 1. As Cohen Allred had to snatch it back up a couple inches. 1-0 pitch on the way is fouled. That one does not find the roof. It actually goes over us, and it goes onto the concourse back here. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Still we wait for our first Any Hour Services random roof ringer. As this is singed in the air to right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Moody picks it up on a hop. Throw into second. And a leadoff double for Brock Hopkins. The fourth base hit of the afternoon already for the Syracuse Titans. And there's a runner on second now with nobody out.
Dylan Zula was having a really difficult time tracking that out there in right field. And you even saw help coming in as well. That was
that was Moody who had to come in and get him. Yeah.
He came pretty much all the way from center field into right to try to get that assist out there.
So runner in scoring position, nobody out. Here's the first pitch from Hansen. He'll step off the mound.
You wonder how difficult the wind is going to make it today, Alex, for the outfielders to track these fly balls.
Yeah, the wind is currently swirling around. It was coming from right field to left field, and now you see it out in center field. It is coming from left field to right field behind us. This is a bunt up the first base line. Hansen, clean pickup, shovel to first. Sacrifice score 1-3. Runner moves over to third with one out. And now the Syracuse Titans have the tying run at the third base corner.
I don't know about you, Alex, but I like the idea of sending over a runner. That's a great decision by Derek Thomas to kind of have him lay the bunt, get the sacrifice. You get the runner to third, and now you're in scoring position to tie the game here with one out.
Chopper up the first base line. Vernon touches second. Throw to home! He is safe! Just ahead of the throw. And the Syracuse Titans once again have tied the game.
Well, was I not just talking about it? I loved the idea. Because now if you get that short hopper, even though it was a close play, but they still managed to get the run across.
This one is hit toward the hole. That's a base hit. Tag Hamblin gets on. For the fifth base knock of the afternoon for the Syracuse Titans. They've already tied the game at 2, and now they have a runner at first base. By the way, credit that RBI ground out to Easton Hamblin. Score at 4-3-2, but the 2 was unsuccessful. First pitch to Dawson Raymond, the center fielder, is on the corner for a strike. Small ball, the theme of the game here so far. Both teams coming out with some major desperation, as you would expect. As this one is a bunt now in front of the mound. Hansen turns and fires, will not get Raymond at first. And all of a sudden, 2 runners on now with 2 out.
I think that's the last approach I would have expected for Dawson Raymond to have going up in his at-bat as a late bunt, but it's successful. Got it right down the third base line.
Well,
Cooper Hansen could only hope to contain it.
Well, Lehigh scored 5 runs last night in the third inning, as we're going to have a pinch runner here going out to second for Tag Hamblin. It'll be Cohen Maki who goes out at second base for him.
Running number 15, Cohen Mackay.
So Cohen Maki now at second base. Already 1 run home in this inning on 3 base hits. But the Syracuse Titans threatening to break the tie. And they have Jake Hopkins up at the plate, who was yesterday's starter, and he pitched a gem. Took the hard luck loss, allowing 3 runs in the game. First pitch coming from Cooper Hansen. That one is on the corner and low, and there for a strike. Two outs, 1 strike to count. Hansen kicks and fires. This one is poked in the air to right. Coming over is the second baseman, Allred. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. But 1 run comes across to score on 3 base hits. No errors in the inning, but they left 2 runners on, did the Syracuse Titans. We head to the bottom of the third. We're all square, 2-2. The Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA playoff baseball continues tomorrow. Join Ty Wilkinson and hopefully Wilson Gustafson and me for 4 more games from BYU and 4 more games with Matt Kama from UVU tomorrow, as we get set to determine the final 2 teams standing for the 5A and 6A baseball championships. That all starts tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. And we also invite you to join us Thursday for a boys soccer finals triple header. 4A kicks us off at 10 a.m., followed by the 5A final at 2 p.m., and then the 6A final at 5 p.m. You can catch all the action all week long on KSLSports.com. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson from the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at BYU. Zach Edwards will start us off here at the bottom half of the third inning for the Riverton Silverwolves. And the first pitch to him is lined into center field. Tough run for the center fielder, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Throw comes back in quickly. They'll hold Edwards at first base. And it's a runner on, leadoff single for Zach Edwards, just as he did last night for the Riverton Silverwolves.
Well, I was going to mention, Alex, this is a difficult 1-2-3 that you got. You got Zach Edwards, Drake Pearsall, and Alex Vernon, some of the best guys in the state, just coming up for this lineup. And as you see, Zach Edwards, he takes the first pitch.
This one is rocked to the gap in left center field. That's going to be a base hit. Edwards is going to try to turn for third. Instead, he turns back for second. The ball gets dropped. And meanwhile, Drake Pearsall almost got caught off first base as well. So there are runners on first and second now with nobody out.
And Carson Miles, he's having some difficult time tracking the outfielder's throw. It's the second time the ball's gotten away from him. Thankfully, it didn't cost him much, and Zach Edwards pretty much stayed pretty content.
Here comes Alex Vernon, the first baseman now. RBI single back in the first. The pitch. Drops the bunt down in the middle of the field. Throw over to first. They have to tag the bag instead of the runner. That was a very weird play, but at least it advances the runners over a bag, so there's one out. I have yet to see that, Ty, where they literally had to tag the bag to get the runner out at first.
That was
new.
That was very interesting.
That was new. I like that. Because Tag Hamlin was ducking for cover, and there was almost nobody behind him. As that pitch misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes to the right fielder, Dylan Zulo.
Well, you see, now if you're Keblis, you allowed 2 hits, both to go into the outfield, just a couple pop flies. And so now you're facing Dylan Zulo, who, again, we just mentioned this Riverton offense that just has been so dangerous all year. And the battering averages that they have. I mean, Dylan Zulo, 18 RBIs. He's got 6 doubles on the season. I mean, an exit velo of 92 facing off against Jaden Keblis. You could see some firepower here in the third inning.
That pitch is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike now, the count on Dylan Zulo. Salt Lake Community College commit, Dylan Zulo, of course, playing in right field today. Runners on second and third, 1 out the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a strike 2 now on Dylan Zulo. As Jaden Keblis trying to hold the fort here for the Syracuse Titans.
And if you're Dylan, you just want to try to get a fly out to the outfield. Pin it deep enough so Zach Edwards can tag up and go.
That one fouled back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes now remains the count.
You'd have to agree, right, Alex? You just want to try to get it at least a little bit deep with the 1-out approach. And runner, you got Zach Edwards on third, which, as you know, he's very powerful in the stolen bases.
2-2 pitch. Liner into right. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes the second. Zulo's going to turn for third. Zulo will get there without a throw. It's a 2-run triple, and Syracuse is staring up at Riverton for the first time today.
Average 19, Cool, Allred.
So with 2 runs home, now here comes Cohen Allred. 2-2, or 1 first pitch on the way is fouled back. Heads up, everybody. That's heading over to the portal. That's going to bounce up into the stands over here.
Please return all foul balls.
0-1 the count, 1 out. Runner on third base following the 2-run triple by Dylan Zulo. 0-1. That one's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
When I was talking about Dylan Zulo only getting a fly out to at least advance a runner, but now you're sitting ahead 4-2 against the Syracuse team, and you have a run for every single inning here in the third.
This one is popped high into the air, into center field. This one is being pushed back the other way towards right. Zulo will not tag and score. They'll hold him at third base, and there are 2 out on the fly out. And that will bring up Dallin Ellison now, the DH.
Great job by Dawson Raymond out there in center to track that. It's kind of just the name of the game. The way this ballpark is built, Alex, is the wind can kind of just circle around, give it like a tornado effect, making the ball at least a little bit harder to track.
Yeah, and it's the same thing back at Les Murakami Stadium. I mean, this ballpark is constructed exactly like it, where the wind just tornadoes around in a vortex. As Ellison cuts on that one and misses for strike 1. 4-2 Riverton here, bottom of the third inning. Alexander Timop alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson from the Kimball broadcast booth here at BYU, as this one is tipped foul right back to the screen, and it's quickly 2 strikes. Two runs across the score in this inning on 3 base hits, including the 2 RBI triple by Dylan Zulo. 0-2 pitch. Chopper to the hot corner at third, picked up on 2 hops by Miles. Throw across to first was dropped, but Hamblin is able to snare it in time for the 3rd out. But 2 runs come across the score on the RBI triple by Dylan Zulo, and the Riverton Silverwolves lead it once again 4-2 as we go to the top of inning number 4. The Cy and Betty Kimball press box here at Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson as he had a good shot there of the Wasatch Mountain Range looking south towards Payson and Spanish Fork on this beautiful day here in Provo, Utah. It could not be any better for baseball. And Ty, we were just talking about it earlier, the small ball approach for both teams. Riverton, they're using their power on that 2-run triple by Dylan Zulo, really showing through on that last half inning.
Yeah, Dylan Zulo really came in clutch with that opportunity. And I know we mentioned it earlier, Alex. I said, so long as you get a pop out to try to take the lead 3-2 in this game. Instead, down the line, down the third base line, he managed to get himself a triple and 2 runs on top of that.
Fouled off the screen to begin the top half of the 4th inning here as Cooper Hansen works into his 4th inning of work. He's gone 3+ with 3 strikeouts so far. Give it up 2 runs on 6 hits. This one is ripped foul up the third base line by the catcher Tatum Martin. 8-9-1 to lead off the top half of the 4th inning here for the Titans. Again, the winner moves on to play tomorrow. Loser goes home. This one is chopped to the hot corner. A third goes off of the third baseman, Drake Pearsall, and everybody's safe. And they are going to score that. I believe they're going to score that a base hit. I'm not sure yet. And it looks like they will. They'll score it a base hit. There'll not be an error charge to the third baseman Pearsall, so there's 1 on here with 1 out.
There's
or
that
nobody
turf
out.
factor, by the way, Alex, going over to the third that we want to talk about. No team is used to coming into this tournament playing on turf. And I guess it doesn't come as much as a crucial moment. I know both of these teams played yesterday, but that was a completely different turf when it rained. This is a more bouncy type of scenario that you're going to get on those short hoppers.
And you talked about it, right? As it's 2-0 now, the count. And you talked about how bouncy the turf was. I mean, it's coming into play here early on. It's dry and it's hot down here on the. It's probably hot down there on the field. I mean, the temperature is probably close to 60 degrees here in the shade, but you have to say it's probably close to 80 or 90 degrees down on the field.
You know, it gets so hot on turf that you can smell it. I'm pretty sure that's what these players are kind of dealing with.
That's kind of what they're dealing with right now, exactly. This new Domo turf that was installed here at Larry H. Miller Field. And it was biblical rain for the last couple of days, and thank goodness the weather cleared up for this week. We were all worried that we might have to play through inclement weather for much of the week. 2-1 pitch. That one is high and away. 3 balls and a strike now to Cooper Hansen. Working to the DH Bronx Manning. Audi Burton stands on deck, the shortstop. 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And runners on first and second now with the tying run at first with nobody out. And here comes Jay Applegate up out of the dugout. Again, there's nobody in the bullpens right now for both Riverton and for Syracuse.
Well, Alex, you have to say this is pretty much what Riverton saw most of the night yesterday. I mean, we'd even talked about it towards around the 5th inning of the Lehigh-Riverton game, was getting base runners on first and second with no outs. This is very reminiscent, I feel like, what Syracuse has so far in this inning to deal with. And I think if you're Coach Applegate, you kind of notice that. You take note of your scouting report and you kind of say, all right, time to hone it in. We've been in this position before. Let's see if we can maintain it instead of die by it.
So Audi Burton, the shortstop, now comes up to the plate. Runner on first, runner on second, with the runner on first, Bronx Manning representing the tying run. Go-ahead run stands at the plate. Cooper Hansen will step off. And we'll try it again. Hansen has a look back at second in the pitch. Tries to bunt it again, this time down the third base line. Picked up by Pearsall. Throw is going to get away. That'll bring 1 run home. They will stop the runners at third. And because the ball went out of play, they have to bring the runners back. Wait a minute. I think they might have signaled the runner out because the ball looked like it might have hit the runner going to third. And Derek Thomas is up in arms about the call.
See, I don't think that would exactly make sense, Alex. No one was in the base path.
No one was in the base path.
This is a very interesting call here.
So now the home plate umpire is going to get the meeting of the minds together. Jason Estridge, Ryan Hansen, and Gene Van Osden will meet out near the pitcher's mound.
Well, the ruling is, Alex, on contact, if it hits the runner is considered out.
Yes, it does.
But once it's touched by a defender, then the ball is, it can easily hit the runner. We've seen it happen multiple times in Major League Baseball. So I'm not sure what exactly the conversation is going on right now.
So I think the conversation is if the throw hit the runner, and he is out. So take the run off the board.
Derek Thomas is confused.
Derek Thomas is up in arms about the call.
I think, actually, Alex, they're at first because the ball went out of play. And by the time the ball was out of play, the run couldn't have scored by then. That's why you see bases loaded now.
But see, the thing, what happened was the runner was hit by the throw, so he's out, is what the call is.
Well, Davis arguing now.
Yes, and that's what it is. Burton was hit by the throw, so he is out. The runners must return to first and second, and there's 1 out. So no run ended up scoring on the play.
And you can tell
the
furiousness.
And Derek Thomas is going nuts here at Jason Estridge, the home plate umpire. He better be really careful.
Tensions at its rise here in the elimination game, Alex.
Well, we talked about how the experienced coaches are here. Jay Applegate, one of them, but Derek Thomas is in his first year, and So Jason Estridge and his crew deemed that Audi Burton was hit by the throw. No run scored. And we go from a 4-3 game to 1 out and 1 strike.
The dugout and Derek Thomas are just expressing their disapproval, Alex.
But unfortunately, Ty, from where I'm sitting, I have to say I think it's the right call.
I agree.
I agree. I agree with them. I think it's the right call. It's the right call. I thought Burton was hit because it looked like that took a hop off of something. I don't know if it was meant to hit him as this one comes into center. Moody makes the catch. Runner tags and goes for third. He'll get there without the throw. Cut off up the line. And now there are runners at the corners here with 2 out.
At the plate, number 16, Carson Miles.
And I understand the frustration from the Syracuse fans, but I think, Ty, in the end, I think it was the right call that they threw him out because it looked like that ball hit him on the foot. We'll have to go back and watch the replay of this later. But that's a tough one. That one is a strike right down the heart of the plate.
Well, now pressure is on for Carson Miles to get this run across and
you got to get at least one.
try to get
You got to get one.
If we're trying to make Derek Thomas happy here and not have a confrontation here with the umpires.
2 strikes now the count on Carson Miles as Cooper Hansen trying to get out of this jam without giving up any runs. He escaped it thanks to the throw hitting Audi Burton in the back of the foot. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball foul up the third base line. Hansen trying to go for his 4th strikeout of the afternoon through 4 strong innings. 1 pitch can do that for him right here. Will he get it? High fly ball into right field, going foul into the parking lot. Actually behind the bullpen actually to our right. So we'll do it again.
Look at that shift that's on right there, Alex.
Now they're shading him almost into center field as this one is swung on and missed. He struck him out. Cooper Hansen does get out of the jam. And so strands the runners at the corners after a controversial call at first that threw out Audi Burton. It remains 4-2 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 4 in this elimination game on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, welcome back to Larry H. Miller Field and the Betty Inside Kimball press box here at BYU. Alexander Timop alongside Ty Wilkinson. A controversial call at first where they deemed Audi Burton, the shortstop, was hit by the throw coming in from third baseman Drake Pearsall, which automatically ruled him out. And now here we are, 9-1-2 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning with Easton Hicks getting set to lead off.
Derek Thomas ever since has been out of his dugout.
And he is just going ballistic.
He's just
at home
expressing
plate
his
umpire.
disapproval.
Yeah, he is going ballistic at home plate umpire Jason Estridge. And he was barking at him all the way back to the dugout. And I have to tell you, Ty, I am shocked that Estridge didn't just throw him out because they're giving him a really long leash right now.
Yep. I don't need to translate French of what's being conversated down there either, so it's kind of a shock.
Picked up off the carpet, the first pitch to Easton Hicks. As we get set and rolling here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 1-0 the count. That one misses the corner low. Ball 2.
Well, this is a big inning here for Kebles as he's about to face, again, the top line for this roster of Riverton.
1-1 pitch. That one hits the corner, strike 2.
You wonder if the mindset changes for each batter that you face, going from the bottom to the top of the roster, at least in the order that they're going in.
That one is foul tipped into the glove, strike 2. So 2-1, 2-2 the count now on Easton Hicks. As he tries to get on here to start the 4th. Here's the pitch. High and inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count goes full.
I believe that's his 3rd full count that he's had so far on the day.
3-2 pitch. Ball 4. And Easton Hicks draws a free pass. As Carson Moody now comes out to lead off the top of the order here. Moody stands in, and the pitch is outside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the 4th inning, 4-2 in favor of Riverton in this elimination game. 1-0 pitch. Chopped to the right side. Throw to second. They get 1. They will get only the 1. They will not get the force for the double play at first. And so score it 3-6 fielder's choice to get the out at first, to get the out at second rather, and 1 out here in the 4th.
I feel like that's the base runner that you want, at least ahead of Easton Hicks, who had the walk just earlier in the couple at-bats. But, I mean, you talk about a fast runner and Carson Moody, the U of U baseball commit.
I mean, that's otherworldly speed right now you're dealing with as that's in for a strike against Caden Allred.
And that gives Riverton good of a chance, I could say, if not better, than having Easton Hicks to come, into scoring position at least.
There's an arm up in the bullpen right now for the Syracuse Titans. It's a right-hander. As we're through 3 1/3 here for Jaden Keblis. 1-1 pitch is hit to the hot corner at third. Good pick. 5 to 4. 3!
Wow.
Double play! Good stretch over there at first by Tag Hamlin, and that ends the inning. The 5-4-3 twin killing ends the inning as the Riverton Silverwolves are aloha in order in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th, and it remains 4-2 in favor of Riverton. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field, coming to you from the Betty and Cy Kimball broadcast booth here at BYU. Alexander Timop alongside Ty Wilkinson. 4-2 is our score between Riverton and Syracuse in this elimination game of the 2024 UHSAA 6A baseball tournament. Just past 3 o'clock local time, we'd like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA playoff baseball is presented all week long by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest, comfortable wearing sleeping bag. The coziest wearable sleeping bag, that has you covered for all seasons of the year. Order from them online at igluoutfitters.com and get a 20% off discount when you use the promo code REWIND for any order from Igloo Outfitters. Alexander Timolip, Ty Wilkinson from the Betty and Cy Kimball broadcast booth here at BYU. So, Ty, after that 5-4-3 double play, you can tell Syracuse had something lit underneath them after that controversial call that went against them at first base in the 4th inning.
Yep, and if you're Syracuse, head coached by Derek Thomas, you got to be pretty happy that you managed to come away with that inning with at least a positive, I should say. And now you got to channel that positivity into the offensive perspective.
Right, got to channel that emotion. As this is ball 1 here to Cooper Hansen. 1-0 pitch. That one misses low and away. Again, 2 balls, no strikes. To the first baseman, Easton Hamlin, who swings and misses at that pitch for strike 1.
Feels like Zach Edwards has been playing that shift the entire time.
That one is down low again. 3 balls and 1 strike.
He's a solid around 3 feet from his position out of the dirt line. I guess I can't really call it the dirt line. What would you call that transition point there, Alex?
I have no idea what you would call that. The turf difference, maybe, as that ball's foul up the first base line?
The brown to green duration?
Whatever the heck it is. There are arms stretching and tossing in the bullpen for Riverton, and there's a right-hander that is currently throwing in the bullpen for the Syracuse Titans. Full count offering on the way. And that's high and inside, ball 4. So the second walk issued today by Cooper Hansen, and that leads to the tying run coming to the plate now in the person of Tag Hamlin, the right fielder.
Well, if you're Riverton too, the defense or the Demons must be coming back to you from last night whenever Lehigh would get 2 base runners. It seems like they're knocking on the door of that as Tag Hamlin comes to the plate.
Hansen steps off the mound. They got him in a rundown. Easton Hamblin. Throwback to Hansen. And they got him. Great sidestep off the mound by Cooper Hansen. Score it 1-3. Caught you stealing.
Well, I stand corrected. I guess the Demons aren't coming to hunt them tonight, Alex.
What a great step off by Cooper Hansen as well. And there's one out just like that. Nobody on base. First pitch on the way to tag Hamblin is high and away, ball one.
You know, American Fork did it to Syracuse pretty much all the time, and now Syracuse, I guess, getting the payback.
That one is a little bit high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Thought that was right there, but Jason Estridge wasn't buying it. 2-0 pitch. That one misses again. 3 balls and no strikes. Trying to paint that corner, but not getting the call. 3-0 pitch on the way. Taking all the way. That one is in there for a strike.
No swings in the at-bat so far. You wonder if one's coming here.
Not there. Ball 4. Now the right-hander now warming up in the bullpen here for the Riverton Silverwolves. As now Dawson Raymond, the center fielder, now comes to the plate with 1 out and a runner on following the second walk of the inning issued by Cooper Hansen.
Well, so now if you're Tag Hamlin, you've already seen Easton Hamlin get picked off. You wonder if he's going to start hugging close to that first base. Try to stay safe.
First pitch on the way is grounded to first. Vernon drops it, but able to pick it up. Throw over to second. They will not get the runner going there, so they'll get the force out 3 unassisted, which will advance the runner to second base. And there's 2 out. And then now it's up to Jake Hopkins to get this run in. Hopkins, yesterday's starter, who went 5+ strong innings, but again took the hard luck loss against American Fork, whose offense was just 3 runs better, despite stranding 11 base runners. First pitch on the way is high and away, ball 1.
Well, Jake Hopkins, he had himself a game yesterday. Let's see if he can make at least get an extra run just to end this inning out with 2 outs.
That one is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Ready and waiting. Here's the 2-0 pitch coming from Hansen. That one is high and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Once again, getting to 3-0 here. And Hansen in danger of losing this batter, as we have now a lefty up in the bullpen for the Silverwolves. 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way. Strike called.
Another 3-1 count for Syracuse.
See if they can take advantage of it. Hopkins with a runner on second base. 2 out. 3-1 pitch. That one is right there. Good, crisp location on that fastball, and it's full.
It's a good comebacker from Cooper Hansen down 3-0.
Can he come all the way back and strike out Jake Hopkins? Liner into center. Moody's there. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. So the Riverton Silverwolves strand that Syracuse runner at second base. And we head now to the bottom half of inning number 5. It remains 4-2 in favor of the Riverton Silverwolves. Calder Millard, number 12, is up in the bullpen, a right-hander for the Syracuse Titans as we begin the bottom of the 5th inning from the Betty and Cy Kimball press box here at Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Timolip alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. And Ty, this has been a very, very interesting game here thus far. A lot of small ball and a lot of good defensive plays, which has been, I think, the theme of the day here so far, which fits when you have 2 teams that are fighting for their lives.
I would completely agree, and especially for Riverton. I'm taking stats over here, Alex. In the first inning, whenever Syracuse came up, 2 runners left on base. Second inning, 1 runner. Third inning, 2 runners. Fourth inning, 2 runners. Fifth inning, 1 runner. And as you see the scoreboard, it's 2-4 right now. Those are 8 guys that you have left on base. And if you're Riverton, you've only left four total. So, I mean, you're getting the runs across, as you can see in the score, 4-2. And I think Riverton is taking advantage in every offensive opportunity that they can. So, and also credit to that defense, too. We've seen plenty of good plays, like you mentioned.
Zach Edwards leads off here in the bottom half of the fifth as the first pitch on the way from Jaden Keblis misses low for ball one. Just past 3:10 p.m. local time here in Provo. It is a beautiful day as this pitch is rocketed into center field, driving the center fielder back. And coming over to make the catch is Dawson Raymond on the run. And it's 2 pitches to equal 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Those flyouts are probably going to be a lot easier to read. You can tell, at least in the flag out in right center field, that the wind has kind of died down at least a little bit, Alex. Maybe that'll be a good sign for the fielders in times to come.
Ball one misses here to Drake Pearsall.
I mean, like you said, a beautiful day for baseball.
It is. It's a gorgeous day for baseball as Pearsall takes ball 2 high. 2-0 pitch. That one's in there. Strike one. No one on, 1 out here. Bottom half rather of the 5th inning. And this one misses outside wide. 3 balls and a strike.
Well, Edwards 1 and 2 so far on the day. He had a fly out in the first, and he got a single.
And now he has a walk. Does Drake Pearsall. He'll trot down to first. Just the second walk issued today by Jaden Keblis, and now here comes Alex Vernon, who had the RBI single back in the first inning to lead off all the talking today. 1 for 2 today is Mr. Vernon. 1 out, 1 runner on, and the pitch is in there for a strike.
Great pitch. Painting that bottom right corner there, Alex.
That thing fell off of a table right there. Great curveball right there. 0-1 pitch. This one is a fastball outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. What's at stake in this game is pretty simple on the graphic, folks. Win or go home. Winner's season continues. Loser's season is over. As Vernon smacks this one high in the air, deep left center field. That's going to be big-time trouble. The run will score coming from first. Vernon goes into second with an RBI double. It is 5-2 Silverwolves.
And Alex Vernon celebrates as he goes to the bench for a pinch runner.
That almost takes out his hitting coach over there.
That's a big boy.
That is a big kid coming up there as Derek Thomas is popped out of the dugout. And it appears that's going to be all for Jaden Keblis. We'll see if he makes a motion for the bullpen. Talon Bruce has come in as a pinch runner, with Dylan Zulo coming in. And it doesn't look like he's going to motion for the bullpen just yet. 5-2 is our score here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. An RBI double by Alex Vernon, an RBI single earlier today. He's now 2 for 3. And he's driven in 2 runs. And the Riverton Silverwolves now up 5-2. Looking pretty good here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, but this one is by no means over yet, Ty. I mean, stranger things have happened. We don't know what could happen from here out.
Well, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, 8 runners stranded for the Syracuse offense, so they're getting their opportunities on the base path. But some unfortunateness, and obviously we saw the ball hit off of the ankle on the bunting attempt, which would have made this score theoretically 3-5. Who knows how far that inning would have gone after then. But once again, they still have their opportunities, but it looks like they're going to take off their pitcher for the time being, and they'll throw in their relievers.
Yep, Calder Millard is in from the bullpen. We'll introduce you to him when we come back. You're watching the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA playoff baseball. In front of the staff meeting on the mound that Derek Thomas is holding right now, Calder Millard will be the new pitcher here for the Syracuse Titans as they'll go with their bullpen here the rest of the way. As Jaden Keblis went 5 1/3 innings, giving up 5 runs on 6 hits. And you would have to suspect Cooper Hansen might be willing to go at least one more inning here for the Silverwolves. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson here at the Kimball broadcast booth here at Larry H. Miller Field. And Ty, it's about to be very interesting to see how Syracuse uses their relievers the rest of the way here.
Agreed, because, well, you know, Calder Miller, the junior, I mean, he's had some really good plate appearances. He's got, 8 appearances total. He's got 2 wins and 1 loss in his win percent, obviously 6.67, right around there. And you love to see, you know, these, I guess, I don't want to call them younger, but I guess they are theoretically younger than most of the seniors on the Syracuse team. Because Syracuse, people I guess don't exactly know that Syracuse has quite a few seniors on their team that are now, I guess, giving in the hands next year to the juniors to try to continue this varsity team that the Titans have right now.
Yeah, definitely Derek Thomas is something to build on for the future. His first year at the program, to take them all the way here to BYU and to get them to the 6A baseball opening round, I mean, that is an accomplishment in and of itself. It should be proud of. Quick throw back to first, and in quickly is Talon Bruce, who replaces Alex Vernon at first. Pinch running, and Dylan Zulo currently at the plate here for the Riverton Silverwolves with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. First pitch is hit high in the air, down the line and right, tailing into foul ground, and that is going to land foul as no one in the green shirt can get over there. So the count goes to 1 strike.
Man, Brock Hopkins.
I mean, Brock Hopkins ran almost
a
a marathon over there to get the ball.
I think he just did a 100-yard dash. Talk about all or nothing effort out there for the infielder.
Faster than me, anyway.
Probably faster than both of us combined.
Probably faster than all 3 of us. Probably faster than all of us here in the booth.
Well, there's a reason we're up here and not on the field, Alex.
I guess so. 1 strike to count. The pitch is hit in the air to center. Raymond backs up off the Y, makes the catch, tagging and running for third is Bruce. He will get in there safely without a throw. As it's cut off there at the shortstop position, they'll advance the runner to third, and the runner's on third now with already 1 home here in the 5th inning. And you just brought it up earlier, Ty, that controversial call that went against Syracuse in the 4th, I think it was the 4th inning where that run was taken away. It looms much larger now on the hot corner on 2 hops, throw over to first, and Hamblin has it go right through him. Allred will come around to second. He will get in there on the error. Talon Bruce scores easily from third. Another run is in. And it is 6-2 in favor of Riverton.
I wonder if they'll score that in error on Easton Hamlin. It was a tough throw over there on the third base side from the arm of Carson Miles.
And now Derek Thomas is out here again. I mean, if he's arguing that the ball hit the runner, I mean, that clearly did not hit the runner. So probably a little bit of gamesmanship right there from Derek Thomas, the head coach for Syracuse. Either way, it's 6-2. And here's Dallin Ellison, the DH. And that pitch is well inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Cohen 0 for 2. He had a really good night yesterday. See if he can get the bat going.
Ellison, next pitch. Down low again. 2 balls and no strikes.
My apologies. Is that Ellison that's up right
yes.
now? All right. A little behind in my notes here. Let's get ahead.
Next pitch from Millard misses high. Had to snatch that down a bit, did the catcher, and it's 3 balls and no strikes now the count. On Dallin Ellison. 3 balls, no strikes. 6-2 our score. And that one almost hit Dallin Ellison, but doesn't matter. It's ball 4 anyway, and he'll take his base. And that means there are runners on first and second now with still 2 out. And I think Jay Applegate's going to come out and throw a pinch runner out there. He will. Coleman Garn will replace Dallin Ellison at first base as a pinch runner as home plate umpire Jason Estridge comes out to pick up that change.
It's crazy how common pinch runners are in this association, Alex. I mean, it feels like every other batter, it's like a 50-50 chance if you get to stay on the base path or if you go back into the clubhouse and, take a couple of rest.
Josh Dodger, cameraman, just panned over. He saw the Corner Canyon Chargers coming in for their second-round date with the Fremont Silverwolves coming up after this game is done. Check throw back to first, and in safely is Cohen Allred. Easton Hicks now batting in the 9-hole for the Riverton Silverwolves. Runner on first and second, 2 out. Pitch from Millard is down low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. One-oh pitch. Down low again, 2 balls and no strikes.
Easton Hicks is definitely a guy that waits for his pitch, too. He's already got a walk. And he got an out on a fielder's choice.
This one is grounded toward the hole and a base hit. Applegate's going to send the runner home from third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off by the pitcher. Another run is on the board, an RBI single for Easton Hicks. And it's 7-2 in favor of Riverton.
And now Millard has to deal with the top lineup of the roster after already allowing a single and a run into the 9-hole hitter.
So Carson Moody now top of the order, as you said, Ty, leading off here for the Riverton Silverwolves. First pitch on the way to Moody is inside corner for a strike. 3 runs have scored in this inning on 2 base hits and 1 Syracuse error. 1-0 pitch. And that's outside wide, 2-0. Or 1-1, excuse me.
Yeah, Miller needs to draw in his emotions here. It's been 2 outs for a while there on that scoreboard, Alex.
1-1 pitch. Hit to first. Picked up cleanly to Hamblin. Going to step on the bag. It was a close play. And it is in time for out number 3 is Moody. And
that's good sportsmanship.
Millard almost collided over there. Moody checking to make sure he didn't step on Millard's foot. But 3 runs come across the score on 2 base hits with 1 Syracuse error. And we go now to the top half of the 6th inning. Things looking good for Riverton. They're up 7-2 as we head to the last 2 innings this afternoon. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University. Cooper Hansen, 79 pitches through 5 complete innings. Will try to go the distance as long as he can here for the Riverton Silverwolves. They try to keep their season alive. Alexander Tumub alongside Ty Wilkinson. 7-2 our score. Riverton leads Syracuse. And so, Ty, I turn to you, and this is the kind of performance we expected last night for Riverton. But it's a good thing that they brought this out today in an elimination game, especially against a good Syracuse team.
Well, they definitely flipped the script, too, as the scoreboard shows 7-2. I know we were expecting them to, do this against Lehigh, but the fact that they're able to come back and, contain themselves, I feel like Riverton definitely does not want to go home. So don't count them out of the tournament just yet because, well, Obviously, this is a comfortable lead that they have against a very difficult Syracuse team that held American Fork to only 3 runs. You got to think it's a promising factor, though, if you're Syracuse coming in.
It definitely is. It's a promising thing because you got to remember this is a young team with a first-year head coach in Derek Thomas. They're trying to find their way, and the fact that they've hung in there this long against 2 of the best teams in the state over the last 2 days, Ty, I think has to be nothing short of an accomplishment and a win for Derek Thomas in his first year. As the count goes to 2-0 here on Tatum Martin, the catcher. 2-0 pitch. That one is in there at the knees for a strike. 2-1.
Well, see, the chances have definitely been there all day today, Alex, for Syracuse. Once again, the 8 runners left stranded. You got a bunch of guys with a bunch of singles. I mean, Brock Hopkins, he's 2 of 3. So again, they're getting their base runners. The only issue is they can't execute getting them to home plate, which Riverton's defense has done a great job of preventing.
Leadoff walk issued here from Cooper Hansen. That's the 4th walk he's issued today. And that'll bring up a pinch hitter now in the DH spot. This is Dom Jonatakis, who will take the spot of Bronx Manning in the order. So Jonatakis now will take the spot held by Brock Manning, and I assume that Jonatakis will be the DH the rest of the way here with Audi Burton standing on deck. 8-9-1, the order to begin this top half of the 6th inning. And a crucial 6th inning at that for the Syracuse Titans if they want to have a chance to stay in this game. That first pitch to Cooper Hansen is down low, ball, no strikes.
What do you think about the sub decision, Alex, coming into the bottom of the 6th?
He might as well. I mean, you got nothing to lose, right? So that one is tipped foul back to the screen, 1-1.
Top of the 6th, sorry. But yeah, it's true.
There's two innings left, and you're out to your last 6 outs of the season. I mean, you might as well pull out all the stops if you're a first-year head coach.
Well, still already with the base runner as well and no outs.
Pitch on the way. That one is right there. Good pitch there from Cooper Hansen, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hansen, 4 walks today, 4 strikeouts. Can he get a 5th? Yes! Sends the pinch hitter right back from whence he came. The 5th strikeout of the day against 4 walks for Cooper Hansen. And there's 1 gone here in the top half of the 6th inning. Two runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Syracuse Titans. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Riverton Silverwolves. The scoreboard says 1 error, but it's actually no errors. As this bunt is popped up to the left. Is that going to roll foul? Yes. It took a while for it to bounce foul, but eventually it did.
Well, great awareness there by Jake Pearsall. Coming in, trying to make the play. He backed off. I think he saw... You know, baseball players have this interesting gift, Alex. They can see the spin on the ball whenever the bunt is applied. You wonder if Drake probably saw the same thing.
Pitch is high, check throw back to first, and the runner's back in safely. McCade Ortiz is one of the arms up at the bullpen. There's a righty and a lefty up in the pen right now for the Riverton Silverwolves in this 1-1 count with 1 out. As Cooper Hansen deals, this one is up high. 2 balls and a strike now to the leadoff man, Audi Burton.
That breeze is starting to pick up again. It's been pretty quiet these past 2 innings.
Yeah, now you can feel it starting to swirl around.
Now it's come back and going full circle.
Check throw back to first. Back in as the runner. Hansen ready. 2-1 pitch. That one is on the corner for strike 2.
Another good deal outside pitch away from the batter. You got to paint them low in the corners, and you probably won't get the swing because they don't want the takes.
2-2 pitch. High fly ball in the air to right. Zulo tracking back. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 out.
At plate number 21, Brock Hopkins.
So here comes Brock Hopkins, now the second baseman, with 2 out here in the bottom half, or top half rather, of the 6th inning. First pitch on the corner again, strike 1. 0-1 pitch. Grounded foul up the left side, so 2 strikes.
Notice how fast Hansen is starting to deal in these closing innings, too. It's almost like as soon as he gets the ball, he's already in his wind-up position.
0-2 pitch. Caught him! 6 strikeouts for Cooper Hansen, a quality start to give the Riverton Silverwolves a shot at saving their season. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It remains 7-2 in favor of the Riverton Silverwolves in this elimination game. Back here at Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of BYU, Alexander Tumup alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. 7-2 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 6. And Ty, this is exactly the kind of response we expected from the Riverton Silverwolves today. This has been a dominant performance, both pitching, defensively, and offensively. They have definitely turned the tables from last night's disappointing loss.
And you think Applegate's got to be pretty happy about that. Head coach, should say longtime head coach, just in general. I mean, in the experience that he has. But especially for Riverton coming into this tournament now, we're the 4 seed expected to beat Lehigh. And unfortunately had to get dropped to this elimination game. But I think this is a proper and good answer against the difficult Syracuse team. And you kind of just have to give praise to this Riverton Silverwolves team for how they've managed to bounce back after day 1.
And just think about it, Ty, as Miller brings down the 1-0 pitch and misses it high 2-0. You think about it, yesterday, this is a Syracuse team that held American Fork to just 3 runs, and they scattered 6 hits. If you think about it, if they get 2 or 3 more base hits, and they get 2 or 3 more runs, we're talking a completely different game. As that one is in there for a called strike 2.
Well, we mentioned it before. It's never over when it's 6A baseball.
2-2 pitch on the way. Did he go? Don't think he did. He did not. So the count goes full 3-2. Full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch is hit in the air to right on a line, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Right fielder comes to cut it off. Aggressive turn at first. And back in is Caden Allred with a single. The 8th hit of the afternoon for Riverton, and here comes the Oregon State commit shortstop Zach Edwards.
Great approach by Caden Allred to get his first knock, at least of the day. He had a full count, decided to take it swinging, and he went opposite field. Riverton will get a base runner on here.
First pitch on the way to Zach Edwards. Misses the corner outside wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the 6th inning, 7-2 is our score with a runner on first and nobody out. And a 1-0 count against Zach Edwards, and the pitch is up high and inside 2-0. Nobody up in the bullpen at this point for Syracuse. There are at least 2 or 3 arms up in the bullpen now for Riverton. It's a whole staff meeting in there. Much like Davis was doing earlier this morning in their game against Mountain Ridge. Here's the pitch. Hit up the middle on a line. They're going to go the long way to first for the force out. Now they got Edwards in a rundown. Meanwhile, the runner goes to third, and Edwards is going to be out, trying to leg it out. And so Caden Allred on the play advances over to third. And an unfortunate moment right there for Zach Edwards. He got caught trying to leg out the overthrow on the error, which still goes down as such, but Riverton only gets 1 runner out of it. still on base.
Well, Audie Burton was trying to pull the Altuve, do the little glove flip, try to get the double play. I don't think it ended up coming out of his hand, so he had to go to first with it, and he practically threw it almost to the edge of the dugout. Zach tried to take advantage, but couldn't.
Pearsall hits one in the air to right. That one is falling and tailing foul. The third error of the afternoon for the Syracuse Titans against 6 hits and 2 runs. Riverton has 7 runs on 8 hits on their ledger on the afternoon. As Drake Pearsall, the third baseman, stands in, Alex Vernon on deck in the pitch. That one just misses the outside corner and low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If anything, it clipped that strike zone down there, Alex. But credit where it's due. Umpires have made all the right calls so far tonight.
1-2 the count on the pitch. Did he go? Did not. No appeal down to first. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count now. Alex Vernon again stands on deck as this is grounded to short. Picked up. Throw over to first. In time. Meanwhile, inside the back door comes Caden Allred to score on the RBI ground out. And the Riverton Silverwolves add another run on the ledger. It's now 8-2.
At point 25, Alex Vernon.
We've seen that a couple times. Alex is those sacrifices that Riverton has gotten. That's pretty much the name of the game.
So here comes Alex Vernon, who is 2 for 3 today. This one is ripped towards the hole, and it goes through the third baseman. And so Alex Vernon with his third hit of the day, 3 for 4 now. 2 singles and a double, 2 scoring runs. And another hit gets added onto the board as Dylan Zulo comes to the plate now.
Well, he got an exit velo of 93 coming off the bat of Alex Vernon. Just about ripped a hole into the glove out there of Carson Miles.
Popped up. Looks like that's coming towards us, and it goes onto the roof and onto the tarp. And so for the first time today, that's a cue for our Any Hour Services random roof ringer. Will be coming up after this AB, or after this pitch, which is up high and inside. Ty Wilkinson, take it away.
Alex, why don't you take a guess at the last time that there was a catcher that was a left-hander in Major League Baseball? Because it hasn't happened for a while.
Really? A left-handed catcher in the majors? I'm going to say, well, it probably has to be back well before the TV era, so I'm going to say probably back in the 50s.
That's a little bit too far. I know I gave you a lot of 1940 and 1950 last time. This one's at least a little bit closer.
Okay, well, it's Pat Venditti close, right? The switch pitcher that was in the league for a few years.
Correct.
Okay, so this probably is like early 2000s or late 2000s, somewhere around there. As that one goes in and clips Dylan Zulo on the...
They called him out.
On the elbow, and I think they're going to call him out because he leaned into the pitch. So Applegate just trying to get the explanation. But either way, it's an out, and we go down to the top half of the 7th inning. Last chance saloon coming up here for the Syracuse Titans. They got 3 outs to save their season and 6 runs to score. We'll be back after this word from Mountain Land Truck Outfitters on the Rewind. Welcome back, everyone. Last chance saloon here for the Syracuse Titans. Their season's on the line. They're going to try to solve Cooper Hansen one more time, who's thrown 96 pitches, going for a complete game victory. 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors for the Syracuse Titans today. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Riverton Silverwolves. As we get set to start the top half of the 7th, Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson. Okay, we were trying to figure out what the answer was to our random roof ringer presented by Any Hour Services, Ty. I said it was late 2000s or early 2000s. When was it?
It was actually 1989, Alex.
Oh.
Benny DiStefano for the Pittsburgh Pirates was the last time a left-handed catcher played in the majors.
That is hard to believe how there hasn't been a left-handed catcher in Major League Baseball for almost 40 years now.
Well, I guess that's based off of population, Alex. You know, left-handed people is slowly dwindling, I guess, as the years go on. Maybe that's also courtesy of Major League Baseball, too.
The pitch clock era has taken it out of them.
You almost wonder if it's an advantage to have a right-handed catcher, though. I mean, maybe pickoffs, at least down third base, would favor the lefty. But, I mean, the throwouts to second and first, I think, would probably favor the right-handers.
You would think so, right? Top of the 7th, here's Cooper Hansen with his first pitch that is lifted foul down the right field line and into where the temporary bleachers would have been, but they have all removed them now for the rest of the season, given that the BYU baseball team not participating in the postseason this week in the Big 12 tournament, as first base umpire has to get Tag Hamlin to stand back from the front step of the dugout, as he's standing a little bit too close to the playing field. We've already seen a couple of instances this weekend where people have almost gotten hit by foul balls. This one is driven in the air to deep left. This one is going back toward the wall. That's going to fall in the gap. Hicks picks it up on a couple of hops. Throw back into second. Comes quickly. And it's a stand-up leadoff double to begin the top half of the 7th inning. And Ty, at the very least here, if you're the Syracuse Titans, you're not going to go away quietly. You want to show that you're going to go out with some pride.
Exactly, too. And this is the last inning that they have for an opportunity to do so, Alex. You almost got to wonder what tactic you take as a batter. If you either work the pitch count or you kind of try to swing aggressively.
There is an arm warming up in the bullpen. There has been arms sitting and waiting for quite a while now in the bullpen for the Riverton Silverwolves, but Cooper Hansen has not. He's not shown any signs of slowing down just yet. He's at 98 pitches right now. And his 99th comes down, and it hits Easton Hamblin in the back.
Plate number 24, Tag Hamlin.
So Tag Hamlin now comes up to the plate here. First and second, 2 out, or nobody out.
Now's probably a good time than ever, Alex, to mention that Syracuse has stranded a runner every single inning that they've been at bat. The most has been 2, the least has obviously been 1.
First pitch on the way is ripped foul up the third base line, and now you see why the umpires are trying to keep everybody off the top step of the dugout, because things like that happen. Derek Thomas having a bit of fun with his counterpart, Jay Applegate. And his coaching staff down there telling them that's why you have to duck down on the steps. Well, 1 pitch on the way. Hit towards short. 6, 4. Safe. Not going to get the runner at first. They get the force out 6-4. And that means there are now runners at the corners here with 1 out.
You see that veteran play out there by Zach Edwards reading the turf bounce? You kind of tracked back instead of tracking forward. They teach you, at least as I was taught as a shortstop, when it's a ground ball, you kind of have to try to attack it. But obviously I haven't played as long as Zach Edwards has. He's going to Oregon State next year, and he read that ball perfectly off the turf.
Yeah, going to one of the best baseball schools in the country. Oregon State, of course, will be independent next year in baseball. As this pitch by Cooper Hansen's right on the outer half for a strike. 1 out here, top of the 7th inning. 8-2 is our score. Syracuse trying to at least get something to write home about, as Jason Estridge is a bit confused here. We thought we were going to have a pinch runner. Now he is going to be sent out. Dallin Michelson is the pinch runner at third right now. Bodie Jensen is currently at first base now. So runners at the corners, 1 out. As Jason Estridge just trying to take some time here to write in the lineup change. Here we go. Dawson Raymond now stands in the center fielder. 1 out. Jake Hopkins stands on deck. Check throw back into first. That's close. They got him. Second pickoff of the day for Cooper Hansen. Caught the runner leaning. And the Syracuse Titans are now down to their final out of this season.
Must be good to be a left-handed pitcher, right? Makes those pickoffs to first base a whole lot easy. And it's a risky factor when you got a guy over there on third base for the Titans.
Runner now at third. And a ground ball foul. And now the Syracuse Titans are down to their final strike of 2024. Cooper Hansen's ready. Runner at third, 2 out. The 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. It is a drop third strike. They'll get the put out at first. And the Riverton Silverwolves survive to fight another day.
Syracuse Titans 2, Riverton Silverwolves 8.
What a dominant performance on the mound from the Salt Lake Community College commit, Cooper Hansen, as he gets a hug from his coach. Jay Applegate and Derek Thomas will shake hands at midfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you leave the stadium today, we ask that you look around and grab any belongings.
Congratulations to the Syracuse Titans and first-year head coach Derek Thomas on an incredible season. But their offense just not able to do enough against two of the best teams in the state. But we know that Syracuse will be back and better than ever next year. Time now to name our Heidemann and Associates Player of the Game, presented by the full-service law firm committed to winning for you, the client. I mean, Cooper Hansen definitely could be up for a complete game win with 7 strikeouts, but we're going to go with the guy that started it all, who had a big bounce-back game today. 3 for 4 today with a single, an RBI single, and an RBI double. The first baseman, Alex Vernon.
Alex Vernon, yeah, once again, I mean, yeah, he was outstanding today. The big man came to play, too, as you saw when they were celebrating over there, almost knocking over one of his coaches. And once again, I mean, this is a perfect bounce-back game for him. It gets you more in the rhythm, because now you know you're going to have to face another difficult challenge going into depth of this tournament. I mean, you've already faced Lehigh. There's another chance that they could very well see them again here in the tournament, Alex. So having this confidence, though, beating Syracuse is probably a good news for this Riverton team and Alex Vernon.
Well, 2 games are done. Our elimination games are done. Now it's time to find out who's going to move on to the semifinals tomorrow. Ty, I'm really looking forward to those next 2 games between Fremont and Corner Canyon and American Fork against Lehigh, our nightcap game. That is going to be some doubleheader we're going to have.
It will be a battle.
Up.
It will be a battle for sure, Alex. Let's get through it, though. 2 games down.
Yeah, we got 1 game left to go before we hit our nightcap, which is sure to be a barn burner. For Ty Wilkinson and the rest of our crew, Alexander Tumolev saying we will have Game 3 of the day for you coming up in approximately 30 minutes from now. Final score, Riverton 8, Syracuse 2. We'll be back with Game 3 in just a moment, folks. Stay tuned.